Presenting his speech, antagonism. Zay, please.
Hi everyone, my name is Zay. I'm from Diploma in Management Studies. So before I declare what I'm actually going to talk about today, I just want to share with you about a particular tendency of mine when I was a child. So as a child, we all love to watch the Disney films, Power Rangers, and all these kind of films. And you know, while other kids were so much into the happy endings in the Disney films, they were into these happy endings. I was into the spells, I was into the witches, and I was into the dragons and all kinds of villains that were involved in the show. So the thing is that when I see a film or a movie or anything, the only thing that fascinated me was not the protagonist or not the character or not the beautiful actors and actresses and all that. The only thing that fascinated me were the antagonists, the villains. So also the Power Rangers, when we watch the Power Rangers films, so a lot of people, they focus more about their favorite Rangers, they were picking their favorite Megazords. And the thing that fascinated me was that big boss lady that usually appear at the end of every scene, and she summons that big monster that father destroys the city and all that. So I always try to reflect myself, why am I being so different? Why am I having a different take on these movies and film? Why am I having a different interest on the character? Why am I so much into the villain and the antagonist instead of the typical protagonist? Why am I so like that? So this led me to research more into why am I like that. So over time, a lot of people use the word antagonist and villain interchangeably. They use these two words interchangeably to the point that the villain and the antagonist have become synonymous over these old times, but they're not the same, they're very different. And that's the key message that I want to deliver today. So the villain and the antagonist have three primary differences. The first thing is the goal. The villain may or may not have the goal, and the antagonist definitely do have a goal. Let me give you an example. Do you watch the Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Yes, and do you know Cersei Lannister?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so Cersei Lannister, for the uninitiated, she's one of the most hated television characters of all time. So she's my favorite character in Game of Thrones. I'm not Jon Snow person. I'm not Daenerys Targaryen person. I am definitely Cersei Lannister person. So I always try to see why I'm into that person. She is not a villain. She's an antagonist because she has an intention. She has the grandiose kind of ambition that she kind of wants to protect her children, and that leads her to do some kind of destructive actions to other characters, and that leads her to be believed by others that she is a villain, but she is not a villain, she's an antagonist. And the second difference is that the role that the antagonist and the villain play in the shows. The antagonist plays acts as an opposition to the protagonist, but the villain acts as a negation to the story or the plot. So the negation and the opposition are not actually the same. I'm going to give another real life example. So as I am from a typical Asian family, I am an antagonist to my parents. It's because I usually have to go against their wishes, their intentions, because I want to pursue my dreams, I want to pursue my careers, I want to do one thing and they expect me to do another. And what happens is that I have to go against their willingness and I have to pursue an alternative. But that doesn't make me a bad guy. But I definitely am the antagonist, but I'm not a villain. And that's the second difference. And last but not least, a villain can be a villain without a hero, but the antagonist cannot be an antagonist without a protagonist. I'm gonna give you an example. Do you watch Marvel movie series, and do you know Thanos?
Yeah.
Okay. So he also, for the unfamiliar, he's also the most powerful kind of villain. But you can officially term him as a villain because his intention, his goal is to wipe out half of the universe. His goal still exists even if there are no Marvel heroes, even if we're not there, he's still gonna wipe out half of the universe. This is his goal. So even if there are no heroes, he is still a villain. But he is not an antagonist because definitely his intention is wrong. He is to wipe out half of the universe. So the reason I bring this topic, I bring this particular concept to you guys is because I see that this is a problem that we usually face in the modern society, We hate each other. We judge each other just because we're different. Because we have a different intention. We have a different goal, and we have different agendas on our minds that make us different. And people try to judge us because they don't really live into our shoes, but they just judge books by its cover. And that's usually disturbing because we are the antagonists one way or another in other people's eyes. Do you all believe that we are the protagonists, or we are the good people to all other people that we know? The thing is that we have to be antagonists to be ourselves. We have our own agenda. We have our own interests. We have our own interests to accommodate, and we have our own goals that make us the antagonists to other people. We can be the antagonists to people that we don't possibly know. We are the antagonists to our parents because we have different goals and ambitions and all that. So my point here is that it's not just about the television series. It's just not about the film industry. It's also the real life. It's also in real life that we don't see the difference between the villain and the antagonist. So try to see how a villain works. What is the role of the villain in life, in a plot, in a situation, in a television series, and try to know what is the role of the antagonist in the same circumstances. And we'll be able to see that antagonists are not supposed to be hated. They are supposed to be understood, and we are supposed to live in their shoes to see how it feels like to have a different agenda and a different intention and a different interest to accommodate. So be proud to be an antagonist. Be proud to have your own agenda, and be proud to be yourself, and be proud to stay true to ourselves. Because at the end of the day, I am the antagonist and you are the antagonist. Thank you very much.